Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa. Wassalamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Khususan ala sayyidil awwalina wal akhirin wa khatamil nabiyyin wal mursalin. Sayyidina wa nabiyyina wa Maulana Mohammed Riaz wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallama tasliman kathiran amma ba'du. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أسرعوا بالجنازة فإن تك صالحة فخير تقدمونها إليه وإن تك سوى ذلك فشر تدعونه عن رقابكم. صدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. Respected elders, young brothers, friends, brothers and sisters, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has left his instructions in every matter of our religion. You will find his guidelines, his instructions, his teachings in everything. From the previous weeks, I was shedding light when someone passes away, how should the family members behave and how they should deal with this sorrowful situation. One of the instructions of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding when someone passes away is that we should not use expensive cloth in order to shroud him, as it is improper to use very low and very poor quality cloth for a deceased if someone can afford. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a hadith, he says, "La tughalu fil kafan." Do not use costly shroud for your mayyit. Why? Very soon it will perish. The soil of grave will consume this shroud, this piece of cloth. A woman, her shroud will be in 5 pieces and a man's 3 pieces of cloth. But if someone cannot afford for a man 3 pieces of clothes, then even one will suffice. In the battle of Uhud, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's beloved uncle, Sayyiduna Hazrat Hamza radiallahu ta'ala anhu and Sayyiduna Hazrat Mus'ab bin Umair radiallahu ta'ala anhu were martyred. And the shroud which was used for these two was one piece of old cloth. And it was so small, if they were covering the head, the feet would remain bare and naked. And if they were covering the feet, the head would remain naked and bare. Our Prophet ﷺ commanded them, cover the head and cover their feet with izkhar grass, with the grass the feet were covered. So this is one instruction for us from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the cloth which is used for the mayyit as a shroud, as a kafan, it should not be very costly, very expensive. No, it should be a very, very cheap. If someone can afford, we should be moderate in everything. So this is one of the instructions. And the second instruction regarding someone who dies is from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the mayyit لا ينبغي لجيفة مسلم أن تحبس بين ظهراني أهله. It is not proper for the dead body of a Muslim to remain in the midst of his family members. When someone passes away, we should not delay in his bathing, shrouding, and in the burial. After everything, all the legal documents are complete, then we shouldn't delay. Nowadays, wait for so and so, let them come, then we will do the janazah, then we will do the burial. Let's delay for tomorrow. Unnecessary delay is not allowed in Islam, in the burial. And our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Asri'u bil janazati." Quickly, when everything's done, he has been given the ghusl, the Salatul Janazah has been prayed. Now, Salatul Janazah, we have taken it as a very worldly thing nowadays. A believer can make his dunya as ibadat. A believer can make his dunya ibadat. And the Salatul Janazah itself is ibadat. But unfortunately, we have taken it as just as something, my friends, so-and-so passed away, his brother's his Salatul Janazah, his mother or his father, his so-and-so. We have taken this Salatul Janazah as a very worldly thing, not ibadat. A believer is such that he can make his dunya ibadat. But unfortunately, when it comes to do the ibadat, remember, every ibadat, we are rewarded by Allah if the niyat is correct. If the niyat is not correct, even if you read the fard prayer and your niyat is not correct, it will not be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Niyat is shart, is condition for every ibadat to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can make dunya our ibadat. If somebody sleeps at night, sleeping, drinking, eating, it's a need of humanity. It's a need. Well, we can make all these needs of our ibadat. If you eat, if you drink, with the intention that I will gain physical energy and I will use this physical energy in obedience of Allah, in ibadat of Allah, your eating becomes ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you sleep at night, this is our need. Whether you make intention or not, we sleep. But if you make a niyat that I'm sleeping, I will get the rest, then so I can do the ibadat of my Lord. Your sleep will become ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're doing the exercise with the intention that I want to keep fit and healthy so that I can use my physical energy in the ibadat of Allah, in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your exercise, your jogging, all this will become ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even if somebody has a shop, he's selling things, and if he sells the things with the intention that I am doing the khidmat and the service of the makhluk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be earning the money, and also this is ibadat for you. With the intention, your dunya will become ibadat. With your intention. So make sure you check your intention when you do something. When you're doing dunya, just make the correct niyat. Your dunya will become ibadat. When you're doing ibadat, check your niyat, whether I'm doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or for name and fame. And the third instruction is that we should not delay in taking the body to the qabristan. Asri'u bil janazati. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam quickly take this dead body to the graveyard, to its destination. Why? فَخَيْرٌ تُقَدِّمُونَهَا. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying, وَإِن تَكُ فَإِن تَكُ صَالِحَةً. If this person who passed away, if he was a virtuous, if he was a righteous person, then you are taking him to a best place, his best destination, qabr. Because qabr, for the good believer, will become a garden of paradise. It will be a bagh, it will be a jannat for him. And he said, وَإِن تَكُ سِوَى ذَلِكَ, if he is the dead person, otherwise meaning he was not a righteous person, he was a wrongdoer, فَشَرٌ تَدَعُونَهُ عَنْ رِقَابِكُمْ, then this, the load of this evil which is on your shoulder, you will very quickly remove this load of evil which is on your shoulder. You will very quickly remove it, and you will bury him, and you will send him to his destination. But unfortunately, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessing us with wealth, now we have started using our wealth in a very wrong way. Remember, on Malihi, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, on the day of judgment, every person will be asked about his wealth, how he earned the wealth and where he spent it. This will be the question. How you earn it, lawful means, unlawful means, where you spent it. This will be the question regarding, two questions regarding the wealth. But what's happening now? Just recently, there was a janaza in Leeds, and they used something to take their beloved one who has passed away to the graveyard, which has taken a bit more time. They used this buggy to take the mayyit to graveyard. Now this is started now. You know what? We today in this state is we very quickly imitate in worldly matters. We will imitate. We will copy one another. When it comes to deen, when it comes to ibadat, no chance. When it comes to ibadat, no chance. We do not imitate the righteous people. How much Quran they're reading, they're coming to masjid, they're doing this, they're offering the tahajjud prayer, they're offering all the optional prayers. We do not imitate them, but we imitate who? The people who are running and chasing the dunya, we imitate them. And you know what's going to happen now? Now, normally, according to my information, when people hire these buggies for their mayyat, normally the rich people do this. And today, this youth, remember one thing, if we do not pay attention to our awlad, our children, this will happen. You know what's going to happen? Our children, what they're going to do? They're going to say, our father passed away, let's shop around and see where we can get a cheap funeral service. And they will end up finding cremation is more cheaper than burial. And they will go for that. They will go for this. And they will say, let's hire a buggy so I can take my, just display to the people, how, the rich we are and how much money we have. And if you take a body to Qabristan on just a normal hearse, it will quickly take it. And if you take a buggy which is drawn by the horses, it will take a time. And the people who were there in this janaza, they will say, we were waiting in the Qabristan, waiting so that it comes, because it's obvious it's going to take a time to get to the Qabristan. And our Prophet says, Asri'u bil janazati, don't delay it, take it quickly to the Qabristan, to its destination. And this is what's happening now. Keep an eye on your children. Pay attention to your children. Have some concern for your children. These very children. Something on the day of judgment. Inna ata'ana sadatana wa kubara'ana. You think Well, on the day of judgment, I will be asked about my own self, not my children. On the day of judgment, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask someone, you know what they're going to say? Oh Allah, ask my guardians, my parents. They never taught me something, you know. They never, you know, my upbringing was not a proper. It's my parents' fault. Inna ata'na sadatana wa kubara'ana. We followed the footsteps of our elders. Now ask them, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why they did not teach us about Islam, why they did not teach us about your religion. So my respected elders, keep an eye. You're making money, that's fine, you make money as much as you want. Islam does not stop you from making money, but Islam is saying, ku anfusakum ahlikum nara, have concern for your own selves and for your own children, for your family members. These very family members, on the day of judgment, they will be standing in front of you and they will say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my father, my mother, my guardian did not take care of me and he didn't teach me anything about Islam. Oh Allah, you ask them, you throw them into hellfire. So my respected elder brothers, do not imitate the people who are chasing the dunya. Imitate those people who are trying to find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who have connected themselves with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imitate them. وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if you want to strive in something, then strive in the matters of deen, in religion. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you His closeness. Then you will become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my respected brothers and my elders, when someone passes away, you know, we should not spend expensive, you know, we should not use expensive cloth for a coffin. You know, it should be, you know, it shouldn't be it should be very cheap, it should be very expensive, as our Prophet ﷺ instructed us, and we should not delay in burial. If everything is done, if all the legal requirements is done and is complete, ghusl has been given, janazah has been done, then there should not be delay in this.